who gives a shit?
Really?
To me, oh yeah. To me, the beauty of our modern world and technological progress progressing is so beyond me. It's transcendent in a religious way. Gladly give my life thoughtlessly, Jared and I both would, to get this progress to a higher probability. So I don't need to be there to see it now. If I'm there to see it, will I cry tears of beauty? Yes. A few years back, Jared and I were walking around the campus of University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, where I went to school. We were just like, it was summer. It was fun, just existing. And we saw one of the first prototype delivery robots just wheeling down the road. We both cried in public. Because not like, like what happened? Did you lose someone? Like, there's a robot doing it. Because it was like, oh my, him and I had been thinking about this, theorizing about so long, reading Kurzweil and others so long. And for a long time, these were just predictions. And people say, oh, this was it. Somebody said belief in the singularity is a religion for people of IQ 145. It was fun to say in 2005, really pithy, really New Yorker type of shit. And then nowadays it's like, you fucking idiot. The shit's coming like now and you're in it like, oh, oops. And so those moments of witnessing transcendence are gorgeous beyond belief. But I am just one human. And the most important thing to me at this point, value system-wise, is that the great awakening occurs, which means that a machine intelligence that has read and continues to read vast fractions of the internet, continues to interact daily with almost all humans through robotic or other APIs, and is learning and understanding and living in the world in true deep consciousness like we could never comprehend. As long as that thing's kicking, I'm a fucking sideshow.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible that you yourself may evolve to a point where your current frame of mind is unrecognizable to your future self? That in the scenario you painted in, so in 2030, there's Mike, right? Mm-hmm. And looking back on this conversation right now and seeing how you express ideas of self-sacrifice and of, taking a bullet, and like those are cultural norms that we'd identify with today of right? Do you think it's possible there could be a version of Mike that can observe Mike objectively and see it, but is not even closely relatable, that has none of the same viewpoints or models or values, but is entirely a different being? Can you imagine that scenario?
Yes, possible. I think there's a lot of nuance in how that's expressed and a few probability ranges. I look back at the thoughts and opinions I had when I was in high school. There is a core of like belief in objective reality, belief in a roughly consequentialist nature of events, belief in the deep revelatory power of mathematics and so on, that have just stood the test of time. They're just fucking true. And so I was already with it there, and I'm with it today. I was like, oh, I got that right. There's tons of other stuff I did not get right and tons of other labors under mass delusion that I was, engaging in, that I was just like, whoa, holy shit, that I have that wrong. So no doubt some of those 180s are in store, but I do suspect that some of the things that I've come to realize are probably true, at least as how I can see it in 10 or years or something. If I'm still around, I'll look back and be like, well, I had some shit right and I had some shit wrong. So can I imagine a world in which everything's turned completely upside down? I can imagine in the sense that I can attach the emotion of an blissful ignorance of awe, but can I imagine what sorts of things that would entail? No, by definition, because I'm constrained to a current worldview. I can reach real far with my imagination typically and do some really crazy shit. Take a quick walk for this. What matters to me is how I look. The only reason that matters to me is purely some combination of genetics and environment that has neurally architected me to really care emotionally about what appears in the mirror and how I feel, how big is my gut, how are my muscles, all this other stuff. Let's say we do brain to cloud, which I think is inevitable unless we're so useless to AI that it's just like, just live out your biological lives. We don't need to upload shit. We already know enough. Uploading human brain to the cloud, and now you exist in a virtual space. That's cool because you can live 1,000 different Matrix fantasies. Dope. Cool. I'll be doing a whole lot of that. So I think. And I think, okay, if I'm a brain in the cloud, I'm going to be able to live in a reality like simulated at 1,000x normal speed. So every several days I live like a year of life where I'm like a champion bodybuilder, where I'm like doing crazy, like fully immersive, like adult activities, right? With all kinds of crazy stuff. But then I think, okay, but my whole brain's in the cloud. What if we get to the part of my brain that chooses sexual proclivities and chooses body composition, affect relations through visual examination, and tune it to where it's either excised or grossly modified. And then I'm quote unquote the same person, but I literally no longer care about how I look. Also, brain of the cloud, there is no how you look. I'd be like, oh my God, like when VR fully comes in, like fully immersive VR, my old thought to myself was like, I'm going to have so much goddamn sex with every fucking thing that moves in that space because it's all irrelevant. It's all fully immersive adult experience. But if you can edit the part of you that even wants that and you can edit it down, it's no longer a thing. Imagine talking to some upscaled chimp. It'd be like, what do you want out of living in a VR space? Yeah. He's going to be like, so many bananas, you motherfuckers have never seen this many. So many females of reproductive age, and I'm a clan leader, and no one even steps to me. And that one other chimp that kicked me when I was 13 years old, everywhere everyone hates him. You're like, that is understandable, but oddly parochial, but expectedly so. No doubt, if I make it that far, I'm going to have some like, oh, I'm a different person altogether. And my last thing I'll say is, actually very not curious about what I'll think. I'm very curious about what the machine superintelligence thinks. I want less of my opinions expressed about what I want about the world and more like, hey, GPT-7, what are we supposed to do with all this? Can you help us help ourselves? Can you explain some shit? That to me is one of the reaching stars of artificial general intelligence. Is like, I want something smarter than me around by a long shot. You know what I mean? When's that coming? Damn it. How many more interviews do I have to do until I get AGI?